IELTS Speaking. Welcome everyone to Super Duper English IELTS Speaking course. In this lesson, we will teach you how to answer the question of IELTS Speaking Part 2. Describe a person. Stay focused, grab your pen and notebook, because you do not want to miss any information from this lesson. Firstly, we would learn about the most common describe a person questions. Then we would provide a guide on how to answer these questions, and finally lots of sample answers that you can practice with. Most common describe a person questions. Describe a person who looked after you as a child. Describe a famous person you'd like to meet. Describe a teacher you know. Describe your best friend. Describe a person who has influenced you the most. Guide to answer. Start with an introduction, then give the basic information about the person you're describing. In the core part, focus on the characteristics of the person, then talk about how that person makes you feel, and finally make a conclusion. Let's use this structure to answer the sample question. Describe a person who looked after you as a child. Start your answer with an introduction, using phrases like I'm going to talk about or I'd like to talk about, then paraphrase the question. For example, I'm going to talk about my grandpa who took very good care of me when I was little. I'd like to talk about my grandpa who took very good care of me when I was young. Your next step is to give basic information about the person you are describing, including his or her name, age, hobbies, occupation, etc. Here are some tips to expand your answer. When you talk about the person's name, you can also mention his, her, surname, or nickname. His name is Mike. Actually, Mike is his first name, his surname is Johnson. But I'll use Mike because I know he likes that and his friends always call him like that. Talking about age, you can say now and in a few months. He's 70 years old now, but he'll turn 71 next month. I'll definitely come home and celebrate his birthday. Talking about the job, you can add an experience. He retired from the bank 5 years ago. He has lots of experience with financial management. You can also tell the present and past address. He used to live, but he moved to several years ago. You may talk about 2 or 3 hobbies. He likes playing chess and watching programs about history in his spare time. In the core part, focus on the main characteristics of the person and explain why you think that person deserves them. For example,
he's a very knowledgeable person. He traveled a lot during his younger years. I know he has encountered various problems, so he has lots of valuable experience and life lessons to pass on to his children and grandchildren. I remember when I first started learning to ride a bike, I fell off my bike several times. Every time I fell, I just wanted to give up, but he told me, no matter how hard a situation is, never give up. If you fail, that's okay. If you put your heart into whatever you're doing, you can do anything. What he said is so inspirational and means so much to me.
let's learn some adjectives that you can use to describe personality in the core part. Negative. Aggressive. He had a very aggressive attitude. Arrogant. That girl was arrogant because of her beauty. Boastful. Peter was too boastful when describing his new bike. Bossy. I dislike her because she is bossy. Careless. Although he is brave, he is absolutely careless. Changeable. She is changeable and stubborn. Conservative. He is too conservative and stuck in the past. Cowardly. He is a weak, cowardly man. Over-emotional. She was over-emotional in public. Pessimistic. He is pessimistic about the future. Quick-tempered. My brother is quick-tempered and impatient. Resentful. She is resentful about being demoted. Selfish. She does everything for selfish reasons. Immature. How can someone so immature be called a trainer? Inconsiderate. He is so inconsiderate, never thinks of what he's saying. Materialistic. He has always been materialistic. Positive adjectives. Affectionate. She is affectionate to her animals. Ambitious. He is ambitious to succeed. Amiable. She is amiable and funny. Broad-minded. He is broad-minded and straightforward. Hardworking. She is a very intelligent and hardworking student. Charming. She is charming and beautiful. Humorous. I think Tom is humorous and sociable. Compassionate. He is so compassionate, wouldn't harm a fly. Impartial. She is an impartial teacher and good at giving advice. Persistent. He is very persistent in sports. Reliable. He is a reliable person, can always lend you a hand. Self-confident. Her self-confident personality inspires me. Self-disciplined. She is a very self-disciplined and accurate student. Versatile. Our professor was versatile and thoughtful. Warm-hearted. The nurse was really warm-hearted. Witty. Mary is smart and witty. After describing the person's character, you can tell your feelings about him or her. For example,
I love my grandpa not only because of the kind personality he has, but also because of the life lessons I learned from him.
here are some model sentences for people description that you can use in the core or feeling parts. Phrases that talk about working hard and success. Through sheer hard work, he has built up his company. My mother was not very successful in high school, but she persevered and graduated from university. Now she is a doctor. He has the will to succeed. Something I admire about Barack Obama is that he earned the respect of people who met him. He has a gift for playing the violin. She never gives up easily. That's why she could graduate with honors. Phrases that talk about admiration. I really appreciate what my father did for me. I really admire and appreciate my mother's diligence and responsibility. She is a role model for me to learn from. I will always look up to him for his work. I hope I will be as wealthy as Bill Gates. I would like to be as intelligent as my grandfather. I hope I'm as beautiful as my mother. His words influenced me a lot. I hope that I will be able to become an inspirational person like him one day. Phrases that talk about memorable moments. He left me a lot of beautiful childhood memories. She took really good care of me when I was little, cooked my favorite food, played with me, and told me fairy tales. We had a lot in common and were like peas and carrots. He has been a real friend to me. She always gave me a listening ear, a helping hand, the most sincere words, advice. I felt much better after talking to her. The saying that a near neighbor is better than a distant cousin is totally true. She has always taught me to be more patient and understanding towards other people. He tried to keep me entertained and find interesting things for us to do together. Phrases that talk about personal traits. He is easygoing, knowledgeable, thoughtful, and inspirational. He is a person with a strong sense of humor. He has a good sense of orientation. Apart from being excellent in, she is also good at. He is very persistent until he succeeds. She is one of the most important and influential people in my life. I feel that he is an interesting person. He can explain something complicated in an easy way. She is always nice and gentle to people around her. She is also known as a charitable person. He is able to get along well with all types of people. She has an eye for fashion. He usually keeps up with the latest trends. Finally, to finish up your answer, you can use the following phrase and make a conclusion. For example,
So if I had to talk about a person who looked after me when I was a kid, it would have to be my grandpa.
Now let's answer the question using the guide we have learned. Describe a person who looked after you as a child.
I'd like to talk about my grandpa, who took very good care of me when I was young. His name is Mike. Actually, Mike is his first name. His surname is Johnson, but we all call him Mike. He's 70 years old now and turning 71 next month. I'll definitely come home and celebrate his birthday. He used to live in Chicago, but after retirement, he moved to the countryside. That was always his dream. My grandpa retired from the bank 5 years ago. He has lots of experience with financial management. He likes playing chess and watching programs about history in his spare time. My grandpa is a very knowledgeable person. He traveled a lot during his younger years. I know he has encountered various problems, so he has lots of valuable experience and life lessons to pass on to his children and grandchildren. I remember when I first started learning to ride a bike, I fell off my bike several times. Every time I fell, I just wanted to give up, but he told me, no matter how hard a situation is, never give up. If you fail, that's okay. If you put your heart into whatever you're doing, you can do anything. What he said is so inspirational and means so much to me. I love my grandpa not only because of the kind personality he has, but also because of the life lessons I learned from him. So if I had to talk about a person who looked after me when I was a kid, it would have to be my grandpa.
Let's practice with more examples. Describe a famous person you met or would like to meet.
I'm going to talk about one of the most incredible people that I've had the privilege to know and love, a famous singer, Taylor Swift. As you may or may not know, Taylor is one of the most impactful artists of the 21st century. She has been hailed as a lyrical prodigy who is loved by millions around the globe, including me. Taylor is indisputably the most well-rounded artist of this generation. She can compose a song within minutes and produce her own music. Moreover, her stage presence is absolutely captivating. I was incredibly lucky to have been chosen as one of the few fans who were invited backstage at the 2018 Reputation Stadium tour in Tokyo. This was back in 2018, so I've known her for 3 years now. So long story short, Andrea, Taylor's mother, was the one going around the stadium, picking random fans for the meet and greet after the show ended, and I was one of them. I, together with a group of fans, lined up to have a greeting with Taylor. When I finally met her in person, I was so thrilled and nervous at the same time that I felt like my heart was beating out of my chest. But Taylor was so welcoming. She greeted me with a hug that lasted a full 10 seconds. I guess she could tell how nervous I was and tried to calm me down. We exchanged stories, and all I remembered saying to her was, "Nice to meet you. Where have you been?" as a reference to her famous hit, Blank Space. Later on, we took a photo, and I carefully put it in a picture frame, and I've got it hung on my wall ever since. Since that memorable moment, I really appreciate Taylor Swift not only for her talent, but also for the kind and gentle personality she has.
Describe a person you have seen who is beautiful or handsome.
I'm going to tell you about the most gorgeous man I've ever seen. Although I don't like to admit it, there is a certain type of man that I always find attractive. That would be a dark-skinned, dark-haired man, maybe Latino or Mediterranean. There is something about this look that is so exotic to me as a fair-skinned, light-haired, freckly woman. I'll never forget this man I saw during my trip to Costa Rica once. As I was walking along the street one day, I caught a glimpse of his gorgeous face behind the bar of a small, local restaurant. After this, I couldn't get him off my mind. The next day, I decided to go to that bar with some friends of mine to see if I could get to know him more. Unfortunately, it turned out that he was already taken. However, he was quite friendly, so we still chatted for a bit. I'll never forget the dimensions of his face. He had dark brown eyes with long, dark eyelashes, paired with a pearly white smile. Everything was perfectly symmetrical on his face. Furthermore, he has a chiseled jawline, which is quite manly and attractive to me. He had short black hair, which fell perfectly on his face with a slight swoop. I'm a pretty tall woman, standing at about 168, but I noticed that he was significantly taller than me, perhaps about 185, which is uncommon for his country. As I'm not into super buff men, I liked his slightly muscular, lean build. Although he was really handsome, his friendly demeanor attracted me above all. His charming smile made me feel warm and calm. So, once you asked me this question, I thought of him immediately.
Describe the best teacher you know.
I would like to tell you about a teacher who motivated and inspired me in high school. I'm fortunate to have had a remarkable teacher in my life, Mrs. Johnson. She teaches English literature at my high school. Mrs. Johnson's passion for literature is contagious, and her teaching methods are truly inspiring. What sets her apart is not just her extensive knowledge, but also her ability to make complex literary concepts accessible to every student. Mrs. Johnson is not just a teacher. She's a mentor who goes above and beyond to ensure that her students grasp the beauty of literature. Her engaging teaching style involves thought-provoking discussions, interactive activities, and a genuine enthusiasm for the subject. She encourages creativity and critical thinking, fostering an environment where students feel comfortable expressing their ideas. Beyond the classroom, Mrs. Johnson is approachable and supportive. She takes the time to understand each student's unique strengths and challenges, tailoring her guidance accordingly. Her dedication to her students' success extends beyond academics. She actively promotes personal growth and character development. In my opinion, Mrs. Johnson is more than just a teacher. She is a beacon of inspiration, shaping not only my academic journey, but also instilling a lifelong love for literature and learning.
Describe your best friend.
My best friend Sarah is an extraordinary individual who enriches my life in countless ways. What makes her exceptional is not only her unwavering loyalty, but also her incredible kindness and resilience. Sarah possesses a rare combination of qualities that make her not just a friend, but a confidant and a source of constant support. Sarah's kindness knows no bounds. She has an innate ability to empathize with others and is always ready to lend a helping hand. Her selflessness is truly remarkable, as she puts the needs of others before her own without expecting anything in return. Whether it's offering a listening ear during tough times or celebrating successes, Sarah's genuine joy for others' happiness is evident. In addition to her kindness, Sarah's resilience is awe-inspiring. She faces challenges with grace and determination, turning setbacks into opportunities for growth. Her positive outlook on life is contagious, making even the darkest moments seem manageable when she's around. To sum up, Sarah is not just my best friend. For me, she is a shining example of kindness, resilience, and unwavering support. I am grateful to have her in my life, and our friendship is a constant source of joy and inspiration.
Describe a person who has influenced you the most.
One person who has profoundly influenced my life is my grandfather. His wisdom, values, and life experiences have shaped my perspective and contributed significantly to the person I am today. My grandfather, or Papa as I fondly call him, grew up in a different era, facing numerous challenges and adversities, unwavering commitment to integrity, hard work, and compassion. Papa's stories of resilience during difficult times have instilled in me a deep appreciation for the value of perseverance and the importance of maintaining one's principles in the face of adversity. Moreover, Papa's guidance has been a compass for ethical decision-making. His emphasis on honesty and empathy has influenced my interactions with others and my approach to various aspects of life. His simple yet profound life lessons continue to resonate with me and serve as a moral foundation. In essence, my grandfather's influence extends far beyond his role in the family. It has become a guiding force in shaping my character and values. I am grateful for the profound impact he has had on my life, and I strive to embody the principles he has passed down to me.
Describe a movie star that you love so much.
One movie star who has captivated my admiration is Cate Blanchett. Her exceptional talent, versatility, and dedication to her craft make her a truly remarkable figure in the world of cinema. Cate Blanchett's performances are nothing short of extraordinary. Whether portraying complex characters in dramatic roles or bringing authenticity to lighthearted characters, she consistently delivers performances that leave a lasting impression. Her ability to immerse herself in diverse roles showcases the depth of her acting prowess and adds a layer of authenticity to every character she portrays. Beyond her acting skills, Cate Blanchett's commitment to her roles is evident in the extensive research and preparation she undertakes. Her dedication to bringing nuance and depth to her characters sets a high standard in the film industry. Additionally, her advocacy for various social and environmental causes reflects a sense of responsibility and compassion that goes beyond the screen. In conclusion, Cate Blanchett is not only a phenomenal actress, but also a role model for her dedication, versatility, and contributions beyond the realm of entertainment. Her impact on the film industry and her commitment to making a positive difference in the world make her a movie star I admire and respect immensely.
This is the end of the Lesson 3 of our IELTS Speaking course. Subscribe to our channel so as not to miss the upcoming videos. Bye-bye.